Everybody's freaking out.
It's a competition like no other. The contestants, 4- and 5-year-olds, their coaches, obsessed New York parents. The goal, a spot at a good kindergarten.
It's really hard to verbalize the insanity of the whole situation until you're actually going through it. Seeing other parents in the room with that crazed look in their eye. Knowing that they're ready to like stab you in the back if you trip.
It's our money, it's our kid, it's our family.
In the world's most cutthroat city, the stakes are high.
There is that fear that if your 5-year-old does not get into one of these top schools, they're not going to succeed in life.
It's the social and the mental focus of people's lives when they go through this thing, and it devours them.
Over the next 9 months, these 3 children, Jack, Amina, and Caleb, will bear the hopes and dreams of their parents into a race that takes their families from joy to despair as they try to get into kindergarten.
If people around the country watch this program, they will have just one more reason to believe that everyone in New York City has lost their minds.
Autumn in New York, and the kindergarten marathon has begun. Before the finish line in May will be months of applications, evaluations, school visits, playdates, and interviews. Not to mention the 3 IQ tests thousands of children will take. 4-year-old Jack Bricken is just out of the gate. Jack lives on Park Avenue with his younger brother and fashion designer parents, Stephanie and Barry. This is Barry's 3rd marriage.
You're in trouble now.
He's a veteran at the kindergarten race.
I'm going into this thing again because this is actually my 3rd time doing this, and you don't know. It's like the luck of the draw.
Daddy gets me again.
I had daughters, and it's so much different having boys. Guys are climbers. They're into everything. They are a hoot.
Do we think it's gonna work?
School should be a growing experience. I said to my wife, I'm going to go to these interviews and just be myself, and hopefully they'll judge Jack, and the right school will accept him, and that's where he's going to go.
The Brickens could just send Jack to their neighborhood public school, but they want something better.
These days, that means somewhere that has a wonderful reputation, that sends its graduates on to Yale or Harvard, and there is that fear, that worry that if your 5-year-old does not get into one of these top schools, they're not going to succeed in life.
This is Stephanie Bricken. I'm calling to schedule an interview with my son.
The Brickens are applying to 14 schools, 3 public and 11 private. Between interviews and school playdates, Stephanie and Barry will have 30 appointments this fall.
For the parents, writing the applications and setting up the interviews by phone, I swear it's like I'm on a job interview. At 11, is there another time? I work part-time, so I'm trying to work around, my part-time schedule and then Barry's schedule and then the, 9 other schools that I applied for. And so when I talk to a couple schools, I'm like, well, that doesn't work. Can we change it to this day? And I feel like I don't know on the other end if they're like, okay, pain in the ass, let's check her off. A lot of applications ask you to describe your child, a little bit about them, and little anecdotes. Jack has a silly and sunny disposition. It's nice to see him bring a smile to the faces of neighbors during the morning elevator ride because of his enthusiastic barrage of questions. Are you mommy's friend? What's your dog's name? Where are you going? I feel like it has to be done right, or else that's just a check against, It's crazy.
Stephanie and Barry aren't going through the process alone. They have a coach, the director of Jack's preschool, Wendy Levey.
Morning, Jack. Well done. Good morning.
Preschool directors play a key role. They help their parents choose and get into schools. Some, like Wendy, even proofread and edit application essays, like a teacher marking a paper.
So how'd I do? You did great. Is there anything else he can multiply 10 times 2 that I have to academically or is it good just to keep it as his personality?
I think personality driven is much more significant, because if you get into things like he can multiply thus and such and then they ask him and he doesn't feel like doing it, okay. It's setting him up for failure. I don't think it's worth it. So good job.
Thanks.
Welcome.
25 years ago, if your child was cute and parents were reasonably articulate and could pay the bills, they could get into almost any school. The business has changed totally.
Across town on the Upper West Side, the competition is just as intense.
I don't know. Are you going to be a good witch or a bad witch?
Kira Rogers, a teacher, and her husband Kimani, a bank officer, are applying to 6 schools, 3 private and 3 public, for their daughter Amina.
Do you laugh?
Yeah.
Very good. That's a great witch laugh.
But their dream is the most desired public school in the city, Hunter College Elementary, which only takes intellectually gifted children. It's where Kimani went to school from kindergarten through 12th grade.
All right, here. These were made in 1983, which would have put me at 8.
Today he's back, with hundreds of other applying families to learn about the admissions process.
I can name every teacher that I had here. I don't know if everyone can name all their elementary school teachers. I'm sure some people can. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely holds a piece of my heart.
I am the admissions director.
Lindley Uehling hosts the open house.
You are courageous because you have no guarantees in this process. You are courageous because everybody is on equal ground in this process.
To get into Hunter, 4-year-olds take an IQ test, the Stanford Binet. Then the top scorers are invited to Hunter's second round, where they're observed in a simulated classroom.
Our admissions process is absolutely transparent. There are no letters of recommendations, just how that child did that day based on the observations of 4 adults in that room with that child.
It won't help Amina that Kimani went here. Like the other 1,300 children applying for Hunter's 48 seats, she has a 1 in 25 shot of getting in.
I graduated in this auditorium. The seats are exactly the same. I carried the flag. We sang That's What Friends Are For. You know, it was pretty sweet. 1987. I love this place. I basically grew up in this school, and I'm really hoping that Amina can get in here too.
Like the Rogers, Kristen Hart has Hunter at the top of her list. A single mother with limited resources, she and her son Caleb live in a Harlem walk-up. Kristen believes that Caleb is bright. She wants him to go to a school where he'll be challenged.
The schools that I really want are the Anderson program and the Hunter College Elementary School. I want him to be in a really academically accelerated program where he won't be bored and where he will be understood.
When I grow up, I want to be a scientist because they do experiments, and I'm always doing experiments.
But the gifted public schools are very competitive, so Kristen needs options. She's applying to private schools as a backup. The privates require an IQ test called the ERB.
He took the ERB test like a month ago. He had just turned 4. I didn't even really tell him anything about his test. I didn't stress about it. I didn't prepare him in any way. Then the woman came out. I said, did you guys have fun? And of course, suddenly I was very anxious about how it had gone. And she said, we tried to. He's so cute. And then she walked away, and I thought, cute? I sort of had decided, I think I'm not going to open this envelope when it comes. And then last week, this envelope came, and I immediately ripped it open. I was immediately very happy. And then I obsessed over these results for the last few days. Outstanding language development.
Caleb scored a 99 on the ERB. He's in the top 1% of all 4-year-olds in the nation.
My family thinks it's insane. Like, my mother, was making fun of me. Bob, we can relax because Caleb scored at the top. Everything is going to be fine. She did not share my anxiety about these. Pattern completion and sequencing skills are impressive. Do you think I should send him to to send him to school? Where's the school? Where's the closest school? Send him to school. That's what you do, So I have explained why you can't send him to the school.
At Kristen's neighborhood public school, 80% of the children read below grade level. Kristen has to find another option, something her friends outside the city don't understand.
When I'm up in Woodstock and I'm explaining, they're all looking at me like, you're going to do what? Why don't you just move up here? But what I really want is for him to be in the competitive environment of New York and to thrive and become an amazing person. So in a way, I do buy into it all, and in another way, I find it all really horrifying. So it's going to be interesting.
Coming up, Kristen takes a gamble on Caleb's applications.
I think I put things in there that he's aggressive, he's impulsive. He has a natural distaste for authority and a vigilante streak. So that's the truth.